Well, I decided at the end of the 2 years, I went and I purchased the domain name called Invincibelle.com. I said, okay, I'm going to start my own company. I don't know. But guess what? Again, that whole structure thing came in. You know, my family wanted me to do a job after an MBA. All of us have probably heard something like that. Oh, why do you want to start a company? Go and work in a corporate environment, okay? I said, all right. So I get this killer job at Intel, you know. And I do nothing with Invincibelle. Nothing. I go back to work, I'm working. And one fine day, I was the chair of career committee at Women in Intel. So we had an external speaker. This person comes in and he says, okay, Deepika, what's your ambition in life? Just like this person is kind of putting me into spot, and he's saying, what do you want to be at the end? Like, I've always wanted to have my own business. You know, my grandfather was a businessman, my father was a businessman. I can't think of anything else but having my own business. But for some reason, in the last 9 years, all I've done is run into one corporate job to the other. And I might just add to that. I actually switch jobs every 2 years. So that says something about it, that I wasn't finding myself and I was not going in a direction. Because I'm switching jobs. Nowadays it's really, now if I give my resume in Silicon Valley someplace, it's really cool. Nobody cares you jump jobs to 5 times in last 10 years. Nobody cares about that. So regular now. That's the shift. Like if I were to share it with my father, he would be like, no, 30 years you have to be in the same job, and retire with that job. Like, so see, the market shifts, but there's change in ideas. So we have to be current with that. So he's like, okay, so what are your plans, personal plans? I'm like, probably have a child sometime, or start my own business, something like that. He's like, oh, so 2 babies in the same year. That won't work. That got me thinking. I'm like, what the hell have I been doing? I've been going round and round, like all of us might have identified with this situation in some place or the other. So that's what happened. Suddenly all of my life made sense to me. And I knew mining was not an exit strategy. And this is something I really, really believe in, that you might find your parents want the best for you, really. They really want the best for you. They think that having a job is secure and everything. What would you do when you venture out? And it's looking at their concern, it perfectly makes sense. But really we have to, get to the sea and try new things. So that's how Invincibelle began. So I start with my story now. So is this a good idea? All these questions. Will the idea work? How do I start? How will I fund the startup? What is my business model? How will I sustain? Have you not gone through these questions? All these questions came to my mind, right? And I'm going through again that whole process of where to begin. And that's when I really figured the idea is not to have the most exceptional idea. The idea is to get started. And that's where I really was trying to build in that you will not have an ideal idea. You have to start someplace. And then the roads will start opening up for you. I really love it when I read this, that you just keep doing it, and one thing goes on to the other, and you start. So what did I do? I wanted to profile all these women. I wanted people to have access to information, access to a community that they could trust, and I wanted women to have access to women leaders who've been that road before, to give them what it was for them to travel through the journey. I truly believe that even though they are not in the current marketplace or they don't compete in the situation, they have really opened up some barriers that have made things simpler for us in the past. I mean, in the 1960s, I'm sure things were not that cool as it is today. So I really find that their experience can speak to it. At the same time, I think that the young women are actually redefining themselves. We play so many multiple roles. And in doing so, now we know how to figure out a way to prioritize. And we figure out that we can redefine ourselves. And I truly believe women are tribal by nature. What I mean by women are tribal by nature is that they love to get recommendations from the community that they trust. You know what? I found this great store. We should go and check it out. Yeah, that's a good idea. My sister calls me, a great pair of shoes at Macy's. It's on sale. Why don't you go check it out? Right. And we are really tribal by nature, but what's happened in this global environment is that we are moving away from the communities that we used to trust and we could actually relate to. So now we have to build our communities away from where are we. We need to build that trusted community where we feel safe to share our hopes, aspirations, and ambitions. So that's where we started. I started to enroll. I started to reach out to women who've done some exceptional things, like from Korea, from Russia, from Japan, from India. American women who've traveled abroad and probably got married to someone who took them to Turkey, to India, and what have their experiences been? Believe it or not, none of them said that they would not want to talk. I found that there was a hunger to feed and there was hunger to be fed. So what happened was, this is what happened. These are women who are students, they want to be successful. Those are successful women, they want to give back. They've learned so many wonderful things in their past that they have no place to share. So when I realized that, I figured, oh my God, look at this. We have a community building effect here. I did not start with this. I had no clue that this is how it will evolve at the beginning. That's why I'm saying to you again and again, sometimes ideas will take their own lives.